Today, we dey deal with the new strategy, the national strategy, wey anti-corruption launch the other day. Corruption na one part the thing them we make salon dey usaide dey like today. Usaide, not today we want time for day. On a side note, news they make rounds right now say yesterday the Trump administration deported 26 Liberians and 22 Sierra Leoneans them, and they use private plane for deport them common at the United States. What you make a bring down on the inside? Now because it's high time make we country them how we want them. The West then get all and lost them. Now then give we paper, now then can take the paper back now we are. But inside we own country, if we able for make them, it go be heaven on earth for we. One of the reason them we make plenty people them migrate come us alone, you go say it get for do with corruption. Because waiting we hear from the ministry who is responsible for the mine and the natural resources, then tell we say bad deals them. Each department in the country, if you check fine, you go find out say some corrupt practice don't be normal. And if you try for stand out, you go look abnormal for doing the right thing. So what in this mean for we? It means say this not the time. Make we all put we hand together. We tie we ojad and tight for help for fight corruption inside salon. Because corruption waiting the country for benefit from one green man, one green person, or a group of people, then go just take, then put all inside their pockets, and then deprive millions of people. Waiting for go to state, they go to person. At the end of the day, things no go how we want them. If today na you first in this for Kaya, I want to make you relax and listen to what you will do now, so that you go able fit in. Because I watch the Facebook comment, I see somebody maybe you don't understand the platform where you come, but the comment the way you comment, I not go call your name. I know say today na the first thing this you can just relax and listen, waiting with the talk about Naya. Yeah? Naya mama salon in picking them, we mean good for them. Naya then together. For talk how they want their mama to be a better place. They don't launch the strategy. I want to make you listen to this clip we'll get from 98.1 before we go up on the phone line where we all go come and rub mouth. Listen to this.
framework that are clearly outlined in this framework that I want you together with me as a country to launch the 4th National Anti-Corruption Strategy.
The voice we just hear now the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Juldeh Jalloh where they launched the 4th generation of the anti-corruption strategy when from 2019 to 2023. Professor David Francis, now the Chief Minister, say this National Anti-Corruption Strategy document now one way will help in the fight against corruption.
2019-2023 national strategy, like the 3 national anti-corruption strategies that preceded it, is aimed at attaining the vision of confronting corruption as a threat to every aspect of national development, and is aimed at building an ethical and accountable country that promotes zero tolerance for corruption and to inspire integrity, transparency, accountability, and the rule of law. Therefore, this strategy builds on the achievements and lessons learned during the implementation of the previous national anti-corruption strategies, and made to understand from the leadership of the ACC that the strength of this new national anti-corruption strategy is aligned with the medium-term development plan of the new direction government.
Where even the talk for SECA this document, the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Juldeh say the Anti-Corruption Commission for enforce the corruption law then as way for tap corruption. Now different will place them.
Enforcement of the laws against corruption must take the center stage. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that today the discernible result in some corruption conviction, particularly corruption conviction, strengthening integrity and ethical standards, particularly in the public sector, vital in this drive. As we continue to strive hard to meet international performance benchmark to promote accountability, transparency in public financial management, service delivery, and in the mining sector as a country, we cannot afford to lose focus in the fight against corruption. Make no mistake that today we have the exemplary political will. I will just encourage the ACC to tap into that political will.
The Vice President continues to say, Ministry, Department, and agency them for form the Integrity Management Committee where go align with the National Anti-Corruption Strategy document.
That the Integrity Management Committees established in all MDAs should be made functional and responsive to the issues of strategy implementation action plan. In that regard, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as a government, we want to urge all MDAs to develop institutional anti with the strategy and to ensure compliance with those actions that are clearly delineated in the action plan. As a government, what we can do is to continue to push for adequate budgetary allocation to ensure the functionality of all integrity management committees.
Now the Commissioner and the Anti-Corruption Commission say other national anti-corruption strategy document now one way experts them from other countries they don't they do where don't they cost the commission plenty money. As he say this one now expert them from Sierra Leone develop this national anti-corruption strategy document.
We also agree, looking at the previous strategies, that they were more commercial, were more engaged in finishing the task and being paid. I called together the directors and we sat down and discussed this and said, no, we cannot continue this way. We have to put the responsibility to develop a strategy for Sierra Leone in the hands of Sierra Leoneans first of all. But secondly, they have to do it selflessly. Why? We identified people in society who by their actions over the years have shown a commitment to transparency, to nation building, a dedication to see it transform Sierra Leone, and we pull them together by notifying them that we wish them to be on part of the committee of experts that are to develop the anti-corruption strategy. And
Francis Ben Kefala continues to say prevention, education, now one way good for fight corruption, but he say enforcement now one way go help in the fight against corruption in the country.
And was presented to us. We at the ACC told them that yes, prevention is good, public education is good, but at the heart of a good anti-corruption campaign, particularly in this stage of our history, is enforcement. Enforcement has to be the center of the fight against corruption, and that is why enforcing the laws of Sierra Leone, which are by the way regarded as as one of the strongest in the world, not just in Africa. We have to enforce our laws. If we enforce our laws conscientiously, with the cooperation of the government, with the cooperation of the people of Sierra Leone, we can be able to continue to see a transformative drive for the people of Sierra Leone. There can be nothing achieved in Sierra Leone if we don't tackle the menace of corruption head on.
Francis Ben Kefala end up say, they work tranga one for fight against corruption, na different workplace than the country. For radio democracy, Mange Mansaye, the report.
We want to tell Mange Mansaye thank you. We want to tell Mange Mansaye thank you for that quick one day where we get about the ACC National strategy launch. But we get somebody we make one of the best presentation that day when Abdul M. Fatoma, we himself be day at the launch, and make we bring him in, make it tell we small about the new strategy and in a nutshell waiting na be in presentation that day. Welcome to Sierra Network Radio, Abdul M. Fatoma from Campaign for Human Rights Development International.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Triple A. Well, basically on that day, waiting may happen. The ACC, together with the 7-man expert team, we comprising of, all Sierra Leoneans, able for put document together where ACC for use as a framework for fight corruption from this 2019 to 2023, and they refer to that very document as the 4th generation, document we could help Sierra Leoneans and for fight corruption and for eliminate corruption. So on that day, they may get a mixed group of people from the civil society, the media, the Sierra Leone Bar Association, from the government angle, the vice president, they get for make a statement, in order for make, we all put we hand together and see how best possible. So, then they recognize study a role in fighting corruption at this country and ask study for key statement on behalf of civil society. So we not been needed as an ordinary organization or individual organization. We've been needed to represent a larger constituency, the voluntary sector, and we make sure we make that very clear, to me. We'll be able to tell and say corruption for fight time, I think we need collective effort. And they get 3, angles where you need 3 sectors that we really need to put hand under the fight against corruption so that we will be able to get credible and sustainable fight against corruption. So we will look at the angles and then we look at the government, we get 3 arms. One, the judiciary, then they implement the laws that we parliament make and interpret them. And the executive, then they regulate the laws that we parliament they make and help, the good enforcement of it. Then we get the legislative, when at the parliament, and then they develop the laws and also play a monetary and oversight role in NTND. So government get a greater role for play in the fight against corruption than any country, including Sierra Leone. Then we get the private sector. The private sector, and then they implement all public resources, all public money. What will they get? Now, inside the private sector, will they go buy and sell as a nation, every country? So, now, even we organization, in the work with ACC currently, for bring the private sector bill for the fight against corruption, because one particular clause, we say any any person. So people they always get doubt. Lawyers, even when they represent some people, they really they drag from private sector, not from the public sector. When more of politicians, civil servant, they work there. When they're not a politician, they say, what do me get for do? But there is a law, a catchy phrase, when they inside the current Anti-Corruption Act, the amended act, where they say any persons. So we know one that confusions they continue for the create, one less alone join other country then, for integrate into the private sector also for fight corruption. So we see that say the private sector very much important. In my speech on behalf of civil society, I began to include this private sector, say government need to get them on board. Then I also come to civil society. When you come to civil society, then, then at the bridge within the governance and the ordinary people. But we get confusion at this country because some people that waiting at the civil society able to give people them in this country a different picture which is really that the true role of civil society in governance. Civil society a complementary auxiliary group, a pressure group where they help government for know waiting for do. For remind them of their obligations, for correct government in mistake then, by criticizing government objectively, holding government accountable without no malice or no grudge or no political interest. But then in civil society, we get opposition also, that part of civil society. But this is what most people don't know. Opposition political parties are civil society, but then your civil society, then they play a role, for whole government accountable, where they put them a political position, so as an alternative. So if they take over governance, then go able also for implement it in the way they mean they advocate for why they mean in opposition. But then you get the other civil society where we call it the non-governmental and non-partisan. Then not they talk anything we get a political party interest. Then they talk waiting when are the people they your interest. So like I able for highlight in that speech on behalf of civil society say, we in a civil society we're not able for expose corruption, then we're not also able for criticize, and demonstrate against policies the way we think say a destructive towards the people their interest in this country. So we also, on behalf of civil society, I also say, in order for them to fight corruption effectively, the judiciary must be independent, impartial, and effective. We all know that this country, we still continue having hands from the other arms of government, not only the executive arms, the legislative itself. They get interference with court proceedings and where they go on. So in order for them to fight a genuine and responsible and honest corruption, we judiciary need for be independent, impartial, and very, very effective. We they see armed robbery cases in England, America, Germany, France, in 5 weeks. We they see somebody they thief mobile phone in this country, they spend 6 years in detention. Even get, how you call this thing, indictment. Where they should say it attached to social court, where they should say that this kind of crime it don't commit. And court number 2, now they for appear. It not get anything in there. It not one day see a lawyer we can say and at detention say, what in you crime, you get any lawyer, me what's enough for you. We get people the way they don't allege say they're corrupt. They hold them and put them in detention. The matter up to now, we get people that up to now where they report and allege, where them case 5 be not lost, where they allegedly, say they may not engage in corruption. So that effectiveness, where they make even the people the way they complain corruption and they get fed up because people want complain and see result. But when people complain and not see result, we cannot make any significant progress. We will make progress, but not steady or not significant. So we as a civil society, are be able to call on the government, say they need really, if they want for be very honest with that. And we also talk, say, if the government want to be successful, the need for introduce effective and strong punishment then, and also make sure, say, we get a independent and we get a strong commitment from political leaders. Because sometimes Canadians can say this there, now other different thing, and they say what did they say to public is another different thing. Definitely we go end up for see.
I want all you under quick, just where you talk about that one day. Because this is not the fourth generation. When me say they don't get 1, 2, 3 before you meet this one. And if you listen to what in Benkefalabi talk, the commissioner, he say, Talek say the first one them, international bodies them or bodies them will not reside in Sierra Leone, and then prepare them one day. Maybe na make it fail or maybe they no adhere to them. But this one, na the Salomon themselves we comprise just like you chef don't confirm, na they see them and prepare this one. So what to make we go feel say this one no go just end up like another ordinary book like the 1, 2, 3. What do you feel say? Because I think say just like what you mentioned, so this latter part of what you did talk, it go get for do with that one day with the arms they always in kind side for come more the fight, because corruption can always fight back. But if the arms them way responsible left the anti-corruption for do the work, I think say it go be more effective that way. I don't know how you see answer.
Well, you one thing for far too long they don't know the way they can give this country money, but then they control how then they utilize the money. The next thing they will tell you saying that then taxpayer money, and part of the donor fund agreement, then for bring an international technical expert. And they only need a local expert, and then local expert then go do the findings from the different communities, do consultation, and when they give the international technical expert, then they know the English language where them things say very much good, for persuade the people that will spend money, but then for letting Canada this country as an expert where they want for see. So we probably not to the thing where Joe Thomas or Usman or Ibrahim or Abdullah, then we sit on discuss, or Yebu Marie, then talk about how they want to let corruption end. That's really, so with that, when we get the document, then for let even then give it the funding back. Let me tell you, the campaign, the pay no bribe campaign. Semina one person be very critical about that campaign. If you don't follow me,
yes,
on that, I even tell ACC, even though we say MOU, I said I failed campaign for scrapper because we're not able to see any significant progress yet. Even though they make significant strides, then the other side against corruption. But then we still able to make any huge progress on that side. Why? Defeat where they give you the money as a country. Where I mean Sierra Leone. Defeat the largely control, then give another sub. Consultancy, UK's consultancy firm, where 80% of the money they go to that consultancy firm, and only 20% of that money now in they go. And the system the way they create, they're not friendly to your local system there. We're able to match up to the technology they need or the advancement of them thing they need. So we get a lesser power manpower equipment there for let we able really for lay hand on anything there for combat bribery in this country. But then again, when they come up with anything and they look at Singapore and other countries, how they're able to eliminate bribery and other things. But then they fail to look at the policy structures within Singapore, the United Kingdom and with itself on salary wages. I bet you the police officer where you they call for go fight corruption. So Monday ACC, when our police investigators, they receive 25 million to 30 million. But then in comping when they're all two are the same SLP, where attorney general can be choosing for go anti-corruption, for go be an investigator. You know, as a superintendent level, you know they receive 2 million euros. Even now with dollar does sky go up, it's no more than, you know, $200. You know, for a month. And this police officer go attach na CID or any other police post when at the immediate side force that will report corruption. And then go make statement. The statement for the witness for any lawyer in case, how good the evidence is that the good as that lawyer they did. So because of we look at we first entry point and with criminal justice system very poor, and that we begin to say we legal system in this country is very weak and poor. You know, because we not get a police officers that we're passionate and they not get anything where they convince them for let it actually work. You know, when you look at the police post then, how deployable then the time the way some of them police posts then their police detention cells then they been built up, we not be think about for even be 4 million people. And now, according to the last statistics we will do 2015, we are 7.5 million people. You know, and from that time to now, we don't get more people that we don't add to. Maybe some people, some of we don't be near this country, we don't be do that country. We don't return back to this country. So the population don't increase, you know, and we're not able to do any expansion on with criminal justice system. Look at the people that really will matter for fight corruption, how best we can equip them. The people can say if we pay police, then no matter how we pay them, come on. Why do you think that other countries, no matter how they pay them satisfactory, then and get a stronger law and enforce a stronger law? You see that say even somebody the thief, they be careful for thief. If no say, you know, no matter how situation, the least police officer in this country, they pay him 15 million euros. And a thief pay for paper or a connive for take bribe when at 10,000 euros. Then Saka and lost the entire benefit. And that 15 million women they take home. You think say taxi driver go get 5,000 euros for endanger, you know, over 7 people that inside that tight taxi? It cannot be. Nobody can sacrifice 15 million for 5,000 euros or 10,000. We will have more committed police officers. We will have more committed. You know, one person in this country may have to criticize police a lot, but they are human beings. They have their right. Look into their condition. If you go to Kintombari, you know, you don't really know one let you dog self-driven police in this country. Let alone you talk about Dre. Let alone you talk about Aberdeen. You know, these are senior places where you go say there's a superintendent, AIG there. You shake your head. You know, for say in other countries, then tell you say that the assistant inspector general of police there. You cannot believe it. So when we fight corruption, this don't be always we crusade one-on-one to the government and the very anti-corruption commission. That say we get for advocate to government. Let's build a structure. Let we the people the way they fight for we. I mean, with security, with well-being. Let's build their life. Let them get that dignity and respect. British police, American police. You see how decent and they live. You know, so but when it comes to Salone with disrespect to police officers, why? Because they live in poor and the expectation too much on them men there. Police officer there as well as superintendent. How many police posts there in this country not get one single laptop? Let's you talk about generator. I'm not talking about the so-called big stations. But the police post by community, a whole community go there na 150,000 people then day. That's 6 police officers then at that post. Then you think, now over 100,000 people are they secure. So let's engage our government. The Police Act where we get in 1964, for God's sake, they're still answerable to the Queen and his successors there. As far as that law is concerned, they're not answerable, to the government of, to the Republic of Sierra Leone. They're answerable to the government of Sierra Leone and Queen Elizabeth II and his successors there. So we want Jalloh for better. Why then we not look into the laws there where they hold we back to hostage? Where they hold we, these are the corruption and they. If we get a law where say the police officer get right for be a politician and hold a political card, if the minister where they take care of where they supervise the police there, they are okay. But within me and you two in this democratic age, we they say police not for mixed for politics. But when the law where we get is say police get right for hold the political party card, the fact that the Minister of Internal Affairs now, can get any problem with that. That the 1965, Ordinance Act for Police, they tell we. It said police not for engage in business if IG no approval. How many policemen engage in business in this country where IG no even know the existence of that business? It's going on. Is that not corruption? So when we law enforcement people, then lawbreakers, then how do you expect that society therefore move on? So unless, my brother, we sit down, we look at the things that really hold we back. America great today because of the laws that we get. It's fear, to so many number of people, then effective to so many number of people. England great today because of their reasons, But then when it comes to we only look at the political interests. What the SLPP don't do, what the APC don't do, we not be do this. But the thing that will matter, me and you two life, the other generation life, that is the problem there. So coming back to your question, the other generation of document, lack of sincerity, it don't hamper this country. Because they go give NGOs for let them go implement anything. Then they go eat the money. Then they engage the people there. Somebody in the ACC and the NGO, and go sit down and eat that money. So unless we have to be sincere with ourselves, even the so-called civil society, trade union, because now they don't fight than this. They connive with the politicians, business people for defraud the state. We get evidences of them thing and then we don't shout with them. The good thing about we organization, we not get friend, we not get boundary for exposed corruption. So many people, not choose for be friend with me because I choose a very uncomfortable place. Some people they like me inside my inbox, but they not like me comment and I'm status. Yeah. Then go praise me when me and they meet up a party. But then when we meet up, when they see me on Facebook or public, if one, two politicians, then they afraid for Kanye me. And say for tomorrow they expose you, you party. And they give you money again. So because they no one let them pipe cut, definitely my brother. So this is the thing. They get somebody where they diaspora, they bribe the salary for they make passport the crooked way. You get somebody where they diaspora, they bribe for they get land a dangerous place. But you go sit down now oversee a hala say, all my way they don't salon they corrupt. Like when they sponsor corrupt practice.
I know. I think, before we let you go, the fight against corruption, even now, they watch the Facebook comments, a lot of people, and they're on a conversation, they talk about the living condition of the people and for fight corruption. Some people, and they suggest, what about the knockout with this every 2 weeks for pay people in a salon rather than this 1 month system where after 1 month, how you go able to manage the month end because some people, and they by the tell the month they done. Now for pay them, then wait for another month again. If they count the 2 week system, if you say then they go better. What's your take on this?
As we the try to catch up with the current development around the globe and also with the employment market and the economic market. Even in England and America, Germany, an optional for their institutions and pay fortnightly or then pay, straight away 1 month, But when we come back to law, when the very law will guarantee me and you two job security at this country, we all as far as 1917, I would make the last employment law in this country. So the moment that you get any kind of laws and they were old as far as 40-something years old, whereas England, 6 months, 3 months, a lot of amendments they go on employment law, and I'm more comfortable with that jurisdiction for making reference than others. So let me, I continue my emphasis and example on them. So, but Salon, we get employment law we all to that kind of level. Where you health and safety, and no concern on the discrimination against you. Nobody has a concern over it. Calculation of your terminal benefit. Nobody get, know what's they happen. And when you come, you see that individual institutions and then staff handbook, then take a very superior than, the state law. And a very state institution, we get matter with we now, a state institution, even though the DPP advised them, say, no, we will not take any action because by law, there's no evidence for law to prosecute them people there. So I don't think we get any grounds for let we take a legal action against them. So in the opinion of the DPP, say, why not will not drop this matter? But that very government institution go ahead and terminate them people then their service and not agree for pay them to nothing. Which law will they reference to actually? Now the staff handbook. Me and you two know say staff handbook an internal document. Not a parliament maker where it become a state law. So definitely get any big place higher than the state law. So, but in this country, if we not get a system and my brother, we have to go back. We say really that the root cause of the problem. We wander a shortcut, that cut and paste solution. Now we get NACS alone. The moment, that fire force business, the moment smoke don't carry, take the fire engine, then the waterless. Then not knowing that the smoke, they still boil under. The moment the sun one, then the fire catch back. So we therefore really go back. Laws that in they make any society stronger. Laws that in they make any society become weaker. So if we not get with laws and right, my brother, we'll continue crying about 2 months. Then people they work like this country work very hard. Minimum wages now 600,000. This is like we're talking about how many pounds? £6. Or something 60, around, 60 pounds. Yeah, 60 pounds, No, now even $100 with itself. Jackass nanny. In fact, not all nanny, not all domestic workers, they clock 600. Some then they receive 400, 250, and 200 and 1,000. For the month, and the rest don't go up to now closely to 500,000 for bag. So even they paying you 1 million, you picking school fee, they and other things, the free education day. Some people choose to take them picking in a private school because they know they will able get better education day. So with that 2-3 million, or even the government school where they go, so. Unless we really come back to basic and be honest with ourselves, sketch with law within with economic strength and improve on people that live in standard of the country, then we'll be able to get a reduce, pressure and tension. So many men and dying in this country out of what? Some people then are out of shameness. Then they break into tears and say, I'm not shame, I'm embarrassed. Now 1 week this meal home, no, they go without the proper food. Give me whatever you get. Respectable individual, people with dignity. It is unfair. It's really not good for like we subject, citizens and to them thing and where we get few classes of people because of the social and political connection. they can live a better and wasteful life. But then, the vast majority of our people are not living in a dignified life. It is unfair, we laws are unfair to these people. We high class, also unfair, to the life of these people. So we get this country at heart. We advocacy for being. We build a stronger law. We will bring a total inclusion. We can never reach that divide, the rich and the poor for the equal. But let there not be that major gap in this country. That gap is so big and wide.
All right. Thank you very much, Fatoma. What's going to be a goodbye message for we, sir?
The goodbye message is let we continue for love Sierra Leone and being sincere. Universal right. You have to belong to a political party and you get right to your opinion. Respect the next man, your opinion. Disagree and agree with them in a civilized manner. And mama not do you nothing for the custom. Or in relationship we be not doing, not doing nothing for go after them. Because, when we disagree with people that are in this country, your mama, number one. Two, if you get a woman, then go after your woman. If you get man, then go after your man. If you get Peking, then go after the Peking. If you get any sickness, then go after those sicknesses. We, all of them things, and they know they change with social status, with economic status. They only show a bad character and a negative mind for one another. So only when we focus on the real issues, then we show love to one another.
Thank you very much, Abdul Fatoma from Campaign for Human Rights Development and International. Thank you for your time, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
Yeah. Yes, that Nabi Abdul Fatoma, one for tell and thank you. Because Judicial will not in the mot, but he's been a friend of Sierra Network, and we always get a good relationship with a Campaign for Human Rights Development International with Sierra Network. So we can always go in the mot for NAC, and he can always respond to it. I open the phone line. You know, waiting we play before we bring Abdul Fatoma. Waiting now you take to the new strategy where anti-corruption say then they do now for fight against corruption. Yes, caller, your name and who side the call from, please?
Hello, my name is Rugiatu. I call from Norway.
Yes, Rugiatu from Norway. Waiting now your contribution.
Wow. May God help this country, Sierra Leone. As soon as they say we officers are long better. Now we can always can at this program and we still get hope. We know they lose we hope. God go take control one day. But from what I don't listen from the first caller with this Abdul Fatoma. For me, Abdul Fatoma don't say all waiting I want to see. They can't try for talk no more. We hope and pray say it and say then they can from 2019 to 2023. 23 then they can make another new law. But one thing they try for talk, more left for full we safe. They call this Abdul Fatoma they talk. If they're not able to strengthen, they call this guy they talk. Corruption is not go easy for stop. Because they go to salary, is really poor in the country. Rest for go 500,000 for bag. It's not easy. May God help the country one day. And the government, they call the guy they talk, and the government say for put their person sat inside and allow the people then for work, they work. The guy, for me, the guy, all waiting then I'm in mind what for say, he really don't see her. So I'm able to know waiting for say again. Now that is not the only problem. Skip with it.
All right, thank you.
I really short of words.
All right, thank you very much. We'll get to.
Okay, we later.
Yes, caller, you name and who side the call from, please?
Yeah, I mean, Brian, I call from New Jersey.
Yes, Brian from New Jersey. Waiting na your own contribution.
Yeah, people tell you thank you. I tell me, fellow Sierra and thank you around the world. Please take part in the program. Well, now this now, I'm glad for this topic today because this now the main problem in our country. Now the canker worm this. The major problem in our country is corruption. Corruption. And now this any topic here I can really upset. I can really get upset because the thing is so don't pull the country. Because from 1961 up to this day, as we talk, 2019, nothing. Corruption, look the state of the country. You don't go point to nothing, we go point saying that this, now you will get correct. Government after government, I mean, they're all to me, all of them are put them at the same basket. APC, all of them are the same than they. But now, we only hope we get is Francis Benkelfala. Now, I was talking the last time. To me, then are the two people in Francis Benkelfala and Abdul Fatoma. They are the people who we put that country in waiting and call at the hand. Because it seems as if, like the other civil society, then they from politics, so many the country, we the country, the one that will get the country interest at that. Please, let the politicians and let them give them chance. Let them give them chance. Please. Because what we wait for, see, we want people who are involved with the present government, when anything happens, we want let them go after them. And that's when we're going to say, really, they're serious. Because they're all the same. But please, let them make reforms. The judiciary, they need reform. Because for person thief, they need for them not only saying that he pay the copper back, they need for them custodial sentence. Let go to prison. Poverty thief, go back to prison. Judiciary, they need for reform. I mean, they need that law in the parliament. That's not the important thing. Now, they back parliament, now that corrupt set of people in the back. We need all hands on deck. Once and for all, we'll get rid of this. Although it's not easy, as you say. Corruption will fight back. But please, this time around, let us make sure say work. Let us continue. Let us come on at the doldrum so we did. We need for commodity. So now my contribution on it.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, caller, you did live on air. Your name and who side you call from?
I want to say thank you very much for the program. I don't listen both the interview, the conversation where we hear from Fatoma, and then my only contribution where I really want to put on the table. Now, this, like I say last week or under the week, to say Sierra Leone will really need a real reform. From what we listen to the conversation and all the even the questions that we asked to, all through what he said, then we don't implement from the 70 states to today. There's something even where he talk about somewhere about the police, law we get for do with the Queen Elizabeth II and so on. Man, who says alone the heading? We need a reform in a lot of sectors. I mean, don't say that today, I just repeat them back again. Because for now, when we move forward as a nation, we need to sit down and analyze with problems, issues where they affect the country. They affect the nation, where we feel say, I mean, maybe we need to take another direction for now we will succeed, and we get for only do this, we all as a nation. But otherwise, it will be very much difficult. So, to me, just as where this the caller said just now, I listen a lot. Like say, you don't analyze everything for we this evening. A lot of people will get for call today. You go really listen to that man. He don't make the issues very much. He pleads everything. He even make me understand more than the way I've been thinking before. So me on contribution no more where they put forward Naya is like Salon need a total reform for that we move forward as a nation.
All right, thank you very much, DJ Omar. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you did live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
Yeah, I name Harun Koma. They call from Boston.
Yes, Harun from Boston. What's in your contribution, sir?
Yeah, my own contribution towards the topic today. That I really want to tell Fatoma thank you. And I believe in a true Sierra Leonean because that one day the Ben he own civil society, in a straightforward civil society, the left no right. That then come on and they where if they talk people for listen to, and they beg you for let encourage them for let the guy educate to more, because I believe they see a lot of things that way they go wrong in that country there, and not afraid for talking. Now then kind man and they with not of them politician, civil society man, they with them they cover their party. So I'm really happy when you bring them in. Then at the same time, Salon, I don't know what to make now a problem. Like if it's a way that like a father they do very well for let you go able see how far we go with this corruption business go done. The people they say way they fight for, they not get interest. They not get interest. Most of them them people that whether they try for fight for them, with them big man they are, they don't thief them on here. And they fight for them. Yeah. To God, Tripoli, and then same people there, and then they talk, say, oh, waiting this man, the pamba. Not to them, we want this, so that will be about our business. Now we care about. I can't ask myself, I say, waiting them people that they do. For say them people that not they understand, for say that for them, then they fight for. All waiting and they talk for no more about our business, then they fight for una before una give the support to this particular man. They are all total support. They fetch them we don't thief them that go for that country money. But they never talk about that. They not care. You see, so do you have the brief at come? Then one thing back what they are paying to Badabio, make it try they bring this guy come. I think to say that guy they see a lot of loopholes there where he go able pass to government, where they go able block for certain areas there. Thank you very much, people.
All right, thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you, sir.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yes, caller, you live on air. Your name and who side they call from?
Hello, Mina Petermos, I call from Australia. Today, I just want to congratulate the ACC boss and ACC team as a whole for a good initiative for ensuring justice is not served preferentially. But I just want to draw the listeners' their attention to one thing. Sierra Leone get one of the strongest anti-corruption legislation in West Africa. One of the strongest, They get one of the strongest anti-corruption legislation in Africa. Way Pakababi they not be implemented. When Anes by Kurumakami put the strongest they passed the name passed in parliament. But what happened? What have we seen? We don't see say the former president Anes by Kuruma government. It is now being termed as a criminal syndicate because of so many mishaps that will not happen. And we don't even see even this new government we don't come into power. His Excellency retired Brigadier Juldeh in government. They don't start at a new direction, but we don't see so many mishaps. One of the mishaps that we don't see now the president in excessive travel. He's traveled over 40 times in 16 months. He don't travel more than the president in the US, UK, France, and all the other countries, how they go big. So what I'm essentially trying to say is that the new rules, the new laws, them for put them in place, the new strategy laws they will put in place, not to end the issues. Salon already get laws. The problem where we get now the fact that we institutions they're not functional. We don't need more laws. We need to make sure say the existing laws that within day we put them into practice. That is what we need. And obviously we problem that the lack of rules. And obviously that the problem the lack of policies. And obviously we problem that the lack of direction. We problem that the lack of implementation. That stage of project management and we problem. So at say we anti-corruption commission as a commission for make them actually effect their work, for make them make sure say their work actually get a better outcome. They need for focus on the implementation stage. Now they need for focus, not for create new rules them in place, not for clog the system with so many other rules them in place. They need to focus on the implementation. And so what do I mean by that? There are three arms of government. Then three arms of government, the anti-corruption need for focus on them. Well, anti-corruption don't come from where they can. They've collected 14 billion, I think, something around that line, 14, 15 billion. You understand? And the reports the way we don't see from the auditing report, from the special auditing report, from the government transition report with Dr. Professor Francis David we put in place, we produce. So many other reports that we don't see. We don't allege, say, billions. In fact, they allege, say, between 2015 and 2018, there was 3 billion, how many billion? 3 billion, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, that were misappropriated or gone missing, unaccounted for. What has happened to that? You understand? There are so many reports, there are so many things that happen. So what I believe they happen is that the implementation stages in most of the government departments, they are not functional. They are ineffective. So we don't need new rules. If you don't already get existing rules, we need to implement. Why did you go put new rules? You know, so I feel say the focus should be on the implementation as opposed to devising new strategies that new policies, new legislations that are going to add and clog the way, and nobody will implement the existing ones.
All right.
So that is my contribution again.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who you call from?
Yeah, it's not here. I call from US.
Yes, Ayo. What's in your own contribution, sir?
Yeah, listen to what Kefala and Fatima and say it makes sense, but one thing we should realize that corruption must start yesterday or last year or 2 years ago. Corruption don't start from the 70s, you know. This other caller was talking about from 1961. No. Corruption will be there after independence. When the Whitman they left, everything was in place. The system was working. Judiciary was effective. But in the 70s, what happened is when those other guys then come into power, they effectively start to destroy the system. Instead of building up on what they left, even though they thief with diamond and gold, then come continue for cause the system to break down. You know? Money that were allocated for economic development and structural development, all those money was converted into different personal pockets. So what happens is it became a corrupt system, you know, and the judiciary was very effective, you know, but they come, they move the people in and bring their own people in, put them there and politicize the system. So if it became less effective, what happened to the anthems of West Africa? Saleh used to be the anthems of West Africa. What happened? Corruption and mismanagement caused Saleh to be the worst educational country in West Africa now. You know, they will try. You know, with this guy in the top season will do, they will try. But it's endemic. It's an epidemic for that country, the corruption. It's all over in the nook and cranny of that country. So we hope probably they will put system in place where we really try for address the situation. Everybody corrupt, you know, from the businessman to the people who they sell stuff and market to the people. You see what's happening with the people that say price just they go up, you know, all are corruption. You know, all man that try to make money for himself. You know, not busy, but the people. Well, also this government will try and put something in place where we'll actually put them in serious perspective and put them in place. You know, it's too much. That's my contribution.
All right, thank you very much, Ayo Taylor. Thank you, sir. Yes, caller, you live on here. Your name and who side you call from?
This is Umu. I call from Columbus.
Yes, Umu from Columbus. What's in your contribution?
First thing I want to say, I believe just can't inside I late for the program today, but yeah, part of them. But what also I want to mention, you know, Fatoma, they really do a good job. I don't know if you all believe in one program we've been there on recently, and everybody they talk is grab for talk, and they interrupt her abruptly because, you know, it begins to talk the truth, and then they not allow for continue. That really make it makes us afraid what is going on. You know, I think it was on Monday or Friday.
Yes.
I think just one mention that one day.
Yes.
You know, I did a job. I can listen through garden radio, and it was like, really, This guy, they talk the truth. Why una just interrupt her and una not even allow her for continue? You know? And this is not good. You know? At least if anybody they do good, we go talk them. But if decide where then they waiting, we get for also talk them. That was wrong. I guess one mentioned that one day.
All right.
And thank you for this program.
All right. Thank you very much, Umu. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. I think one of the things then we Abdul Fatoma get for face na Sierra Leone. Me can talk almost every day we dey talk because we've been in this business for long. In another part day, meeting at this other part. Yes, caller, your name and who side they call from, please.
Me Nakaba, they call from New York, New York.
Yes, Kaba, what's in your contribution?
Well, my own contribution is fighting against corruption, a good thing, you know. I think say it don't time for let we actually say which side would they go. The only thing I got a little issue with is the incompatible comparative analysis where somebody make, like they compare America law to that of Sierra Leone. And when you do that, I mean they look at America on superficial basis, okay? America then get and law them, but deep into that law there are exceptions. Let's say somebody take you to the court for domestic violence. Even though that person don't call and say, I don't let go that case, the court has the right for owe you for 90 days. That means counting from 1 day, 2 days, up to 90 days. Okay? We're not going even able to compare ourselves to Rwanda, let alone America or Great Britain. Okay? Rwanda way very clean and very super law way they get in terms of theft and what you call corruption, you know. So if we see say somebody don't come and then they fight for let we come to global standard, I think say we for take or thank you, okay? Because there are things even when they compare the police how much then they get and how much you get for look at something, you know, we economy in an empire where it keeps getting bloated with spontaneous element of externalities. Okay? What do we get? Before you look at a country budget and make increment, you get to know how much you make a year on certainty basis. Okay? Then now you go able to do increment of salaries. Okay? Because you also have to have a budget for unforeseen contingencies economically, because look at flooding. You get for ready for all the things. Okay? But if you just say, okay, police forget for this amount of money, or the soldiers forget this amount of money, and you forget to know how much you get as a country, that means they just look for political gain instead of being on the side of the civil. And this is what I have seen in Fatoma from day one, you know. So I don't want to let anybody say, well, then get right to their opinion. But fighting against corruption, I think, is a good move we will take as a country. At least let we get that kind of, how you call them, efficiency, you know, when it comes to humanity, you know. So I don't get for go too far, and that's not what we want to talk on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kaba. Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Let me see if you text them. Make I just count if you text them inside. But me Robert say the parliament and Sierra Leone and then the problem. He say nothing no go change until the law and the country they able to review, amend the constitution and go up for uplift the people them. Josephus Bull he say mindset na for change na Sierra Leone. See a lot of Sierra Leoneans them the mindset for change. We for love everyone of we citizens them. If you love me, I love you. You not go do anything with na corruption. we get to Bangura say, I think now because of waiting Umu talk, waiting then do to Fatoma, he say, we not let people them with the talk through now we country. Let me see. We get to again, they say yes for the cow to Fatoma, for making the camp, for educate we just like how Arun say. George Kamara say bi-weekly payment, he say good, he say, but the downside to that, they make people in Holland for save. He say, yeah, you get for really be very disciplined for make you go able save if not the bi-weekly. He say, but again, for enforce the labor law for make them go get people them, let them pay them on time. When even the Minister of Finance, when the Minister of Finance, they talk about the pay, what he say we can pay, he say, so on this self now, we take the third. He say, take the third, he say, but will they pay? Say, if he come on Friday, now if he happen on Friday, we go say, waiting. I think say even Friday, for be happy for pay somebody on Friday, so at least the weekend will look good for the person. And for the guy can take the third. And I think saying fighting corruption are priorities. If we set the right priorities, then we go able to fight corruption. Kabadi call is a Bokutin and day for the government and the talk say for pay, how much you go able to pay all man, waiting the country get, and now make we forfeit the corruption. Because when we fight the corruption, we gonna know exactly what in the country get. Almost billions, then we know the talk of misappropriation. And at the judiciary with the law enforcement, now then the help for bring them thing then they to light. So unless the judiciary, the law enforcement, it's here the name law enforcement. But what do we get? Now the one the way they explain the law, not to the one the way they enforce them. They only enforce the law when it comes inside politics. Like police pull a press release today. He say, I think one civil society group writes, na social media say police don't give them clearance, so then they come out back, then they come out on Saturday, then get a demonstration, protest of things the way they happen at the country and all that in the day. But police say they don't sabi that group, they not give nobody pass or clearance for get any demonstration, whether peaceful or not. And police quote inside they say the Public Order Act of 1965, where they say nobody, no group of people, no forgetter without you no go take police clearance. We always they talk until the laws of the land. But civil society can frown against this particular enforcement where the police can do. But it's the law of the land. Not the law of the land. It they muzzle some people, right? Yes. But again, if you leave them, people then go misuse them. But this day and age, for me, could the quote 1965, I think so if we don't get them, if we don't raise like how people then can raise the soup, if we don't get more things, then we go make it look fine from the inside and even the outside. Where everybody go understand. Say this is not a muzzle, but this now because of this. And we go see frequent people and when they ask for police clearance, then they give them. Abdul Fatama make a valid point. Police officer with the same ranking, if he based on the anti-corruption, then pay on 25 million. But if they are ordinary police, now any police post or police quarter or whatever, then pay on 2 million. But people in Masabi say, now the comment section, people in they say yes, the living condition. So now I make for set priority for fight against corruption and empower. If we not empower the one the way for fight the corruption, how we go able to get in here? Now we they don't misappropriate done. The country cannot get money, the country cannot get money. Then they not able to help situation. If we cry say the country cannot get money. Now one old hotel somebody bill na kono, he deny say no to him bill. So, what would they try for say? The money where the country forgets. Now in corruption they take. So why not empower the one the way for fight against this corruption? So that them money then they no go in vain. They all go come at the right time inside the state. Just like how here talk. Now the enforcement. We can always talk on paper. Anything we think of something, go salon. It's a law there, it's on paper. But now enforcing them, now they the issue there. So if they want them, we for keep the living condition of we people them. They turn a blind eye. We self not go turn a blind eye. The strategy don't be launched, added to the other one they wouldn't be get, but without enforcing it, it's nothing. Who did for enforce them? We already know how then they. The one they hope for enforcer. We know how then they. We know how then they. So we just the hope for a better Sierra Leone. And this time around, this one way, maybe some man if he'll say the book we meet, he get for writing on. If he writing on, sometimes he able pursue on. Even though the one way you meet, you for able to use them, but if you see the right you on, well, no problem, you don't write. Let we see the enforcement. And we no want for see any sacred cow. Nobody not for be covered. Now the problem coming. Just like waiting Abdul Fatoma say. But now we close today on program. I just want to remind you, say, not forget the donation drive still there on. Sierra Network. Go to GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com. And search for Sierra Network. Sierra Network. The school donation drive there on. Please, please. Make we donate because from last Saturday to now, we not get any new donation. So make we please donate. Make we please donate. For help the school in our Jalloh. And also, na GoFundMe.com. Search for Sierra Network. It will come up. If you want to use the Cash app, na the United States number. If you want, you can contact me. We will help you out if you don't understand. If you have the Zelle, you want to use United States number. If you want, you can contact me back. If you don't understand, we will help you. Even if you want to send money, Gram or Western Union or Rare Money, whichever means you want to use, we will still help you. Just contact me. We will help you out for make that one day possible. But please, we really need school open the 2nd. So we need donation, please. Please. Well, not for the big, but with the big. Please. Let we help out. Let we help out. We go there again back tomorrow with another one. Till we meet again tomorrow. Tiki Polisi. Tata.